Two amazing Olympic basketball players are now getting a chance to play in the NBA this year. One is Yersanya Basel, who came back after dunking over LeBron James. The other is 5'8" Yuki Kawamura. Pictures of him went viral after people saw him standing next to a 7' -3 giant Victor Wim. But the French team wanted nothing to do with little Yuki in the Japan versus France game. Yuki scored 10 points and got 2 assists in just the first quarter to get his team started. The kid bravely drove to the basket, whipped passes around, and made important shots. Then it looked like Japan was in trouble because Rui, their only NB player, got kicked out of the game in the fourth quarter. But Yuki took over the game. He scored or helped his team score all 12 of Japan's final points before overtime. Yes, they lost in overtime. But it took two of the best defensive players in the world to stop him, Rudy Gobert and Victor Wembanyama. Yuki ended up with 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Somebody should give this man a spot on an NBA team. So the Memphis Grizzlies said, "Come on down to Memphis." They invited Yuki to training camp, and now he is the new shortest player in the NBA. But making it to the league wasn't even his dream. But Sarari is back, baby. And they are giving basketball fans free NBA tickets. I'll tell you how to win. But there's also cash you can win. I'm talking about up to $45,000 per game week, which runs Monday to Thursday, then Friday through Sunday. That is over 4 times more than last year. But if you've never played, it's a special NBA fantasy game. You collect and play player cards for weekly and now daily games. So when you sign up for free, you get to pick an MVP player, get your first set of cards, and play your first free game. I picked 5 stars to dominate. But again, there are rewards. The first limited game here has $9,000 in cash up for grabs, up to rare and eventually unique games with $13,000 to the winners. You can sign up with my link, which is in the description, and you get 20% off up to $100 in credit to buy cards for those cash games that are super fun to play. But for free tickets, all you have to do is sign up for Sarai NBA using my link in the description. Then write your username below. You can get 2 tickets to any NBA game if they're available. So come play Sarari NBA this year with me. It is a great way to follow the league all year long and score some free tickets. Yuki said that growing up, he just wanted to represent Japan like his hero, Yuki, who put the country on his back at 5'6". But Togashi never made it to the NBA, so Kawamura thought it probably was impossible for him either. He grew up loving basketball and led his high school to back-to-back national championships. Then Yuki dropped out of college to turn professional, and at 18 years old, he became the youngest player ever in Japan's top basketball league. But being Japanese is actually more rare than being 5'8" in the NBA. In fact, there have been only 3 other Japanese-born NBA players, and all of them played since 2005. And it's not like Japanese people don't play sports. We've got Shohei Ohtani in baseball, Naomi Osaka in tennis, and Hideki Matsuyama in golf. So why aren't there Japanese NBA players? Because Japanese people really don't care much about basketball. A survey asked Japanese people about their favorite sport. Some people said they had 2 favorite sports, so the percentage adds up to more than 100. But it's baseball. Sumo wrestling. That is not just a stereotype. it's real. Soccer, tennis, golf, boxing, and then basketball. It's 7th, just ahead of weird sports like car racing and pro wrestling. What are we doing? But being short obviously matters. The average height of an NBA player is 6'7", but there have been 8 players who were 5'8" or shorter since 1976. Jacob J. シャーリー・クリス・モンテ、タウ・キース、ジェニングズ、グレッグ・グラント、スパッド・ウェブ、Earl Boykins, and Muggsy Bogues. And here's the crazy part. The best one was the shortest one. At 5'3", Muggsy Bogues had a 14-year NBA career. The average career length is 5 years, but Muggsy was part of maybe the best high school team ever. They went 60 wins and 0 losses and had 3 number 1 draft picks. He was picked 12th overall by Washington, and fans were mad. They were like, why did you take him? This is just a marketing trick because we just drafted the tallest player ever, man. And yes, maybe it was a marketing trick, but we got this. Amazing photo. But the Grizzlies just did the exact same thing. Their first round pick was Zach Edey, who is 7'4", 1 inch taller than Victor Wembanyama. So they recreated the famous photo because they have the tallest and the shortest NBA players. The next shortest guy on the all-time short NBA list is Webb. He became famous in the 1986 dunk contest. His teammate, Dominique Wilkins, thought this wasn't going to be much of a competition because his usual rival in the dunk contest, Michael Jordan, was out with a foot injury. But Dominique was shocked because he had never even seen his 5'6" teammate dunk in practice. But they were the last 2 men standing in the dunk contest, and Spud's final dunk was a big bounce. Self-pass off the backboard, right-hand dunk, a perfect 50. Dominique got a 48, and the crowd went crazy. Obviously, they were cheering for a 5'6" rookie to win, and that was kind of the best moment of Spud's career. But there's a chance that Yuki plays more like Muggsy Bogues. The Grizzlies invited him because they needed point guard help after Derrick Rose retired. But there's no promise that he would actually get an NBA contract from training camp. But over just 2 preseason games, he got 15 assists and already has a signature move. Watch Yuki dish a no-look pass to Zach Edey for the dunk. How much fun would that be to see in the regular season? But Yuki is more than just flashy no-look pass. When he turned professional in Japan, he won Rookie of the Year and then won MVP. His performance in the Olympics was just the next step to prove that he belongs, and one of his biggest supporters on the team, Ja Morant. Yes, sir. I mean, Ja. Literally, just tweeted a picture of Yuki with no words, just a picture. He's a big fan. So 2 days before the season, Memphis announced that Yuki Kawamura earned a 2-way contract. This means that he will spend a lot of time in the G League but can play up to 5-0 NBA games this year. He wrote a heartfelt thank you on his Instagram and chose to wear number 17, same as Shohei Ohtani, the most famous Japanese professional athlete in America. That was actually a coincidence. But Yuki says he's going to go with it. So how good is Yuki actually? Will we see him in the NBA? Well, his biggest strength is passing. Dude had 10 assists per 36 minutes, which is number 3 overall in the NBA preseason. It's almost like every pass is a no-look pass. But that's not good enough to get NBA minutes. You have to have more. The biggest question mark obviously is, defense. It's why Trae Young has struggled despite being one of the best offensive players alive. It's why Isaiah Thomas doesn't have a job anymore. But Yuki is different. Watch dude give 100% effort in his very first NBA game. He surprisingly sticks to his man throughout plays despite screens and affects the shot of a guy who's a foot taller than him. My only worry is how hard the other players were trying here. Like, guys just don't care as much in the preseason, and those plays could look a lot different in the regular season. So his actual weakness is finishing inside because Yuki didn't make a single shot inside the three-point line all preseason. Now, he made up for that with his passes, but he has got to figure out how to get to the rim or hit a ton of three-pointers. He did that in the Olympics, dude. Shot 41% from far away on 11 attempts a game, which is literally Steph Curry level. But in the preseason, Yuki hit 25% and 21% from the field overall. He would have to get way better at that to get any minutes in the NBA. It's why he had so much success at the Olympics. So hopefully he figures it out. Yuki said, "Playing basketball at this size is very challenging. I believe the differences in height and jumping ability can be overcome, though, with determination. I hope seeing me will encourage kids who do not have size to not give up." Now, in terms of who gets to play guard minutes ahead of Yuki, Ja is number 1, then Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, then Scottie Pippen Jr. There would have to be a ton of injuries, or Yuki makes so much noise in the G League that they have no choice but to play him. So no, Yuki is not at all guaranteed to have success in the NBA, but earning this two-way contract is a huge step for the now shortest guy in the league. But at least there's a chance for him, because there is a long list of players this year who just got kicked out of the NBA. That includes guys like Markelle Fultz, Nasir, and Dennis Smith Jr. So I had to look at players who do not have an NBA team anymore and what happened to them in their careers.